And we are live here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ACFL Thursday night, Thursday Throwdown. Coming to you guys here live as promised, as advertised on the Instagram feed, on the ACFL website here. Here we are. As always, it's me, it's Jim Flanagan here, and I'm alongside here, as always, my partner. And he had some great predictions this week, fellas. We'll get to those on here. Couple upsets, couple surprises here, but what's not a surprise? It's the Throwdown here. Giant, what's going on, brother?
www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. So a shout out to everybody. This is live right here, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, we're back here better than ever. We just want to let everybody know if the interactions are over here, if you want to give us a comment or you guys have any questions this week. Lots of things popping, lots of things to go over, including some excellent predictions, as you stated, Flanny. And we are going to run right through this. We're going to start off with the 8 versus 8. We're going to go into the 6 versus 6, and finally into the ACFL South. But what's really been grinding my gears is no videos in the North, and it is absolutely appalling. The 8 versus 8 prestigious league, Flanny, what is going on there? How many fucking times did I say it last week? I don't care if you got somebody over there with a damn camera, hold it in the landscape way, not up and down, not letter way, okay, boys and girls, and have them film some of the film, for the love of God.
Yeah, disappointing. I as always, man. But one not disappointment is in the South. We get filmed there every week. But Giant, yes, you mentioned live show here. It's happening here. So if you guys are in the chat, if you guys are watching this thing live right now, we'll be taking any questions, any comments, any shout outs you may have in the chat. We'll definitely bring it on the show here throughout the broadcast on here, as always. And if you don't catch the live show, the recordings will always be on. But yeah, Giant, I agree with you, man. I agree with the film, especially a game of the week. We said it's going to be a game of the week on here. We predicted a lot of people were looking forward into the game, and it was a great matchup, a great upset on this. But yeah, no film, man. No film. Giant, I think I got to take things into my own hands. I got to come film the ACFL North because that's the only way it's going to happen, man.
Now, look, we know we're trying to build up the ACFL. We're trying to build up the ACFL South. So Flanny's over there. He's trying to get some film for the games over there. He's almost a short thing, unless a family emergency. This guy just had his 3rd kid, okay? He is losing his mind. He can't even shave. Look at the 6 o'clock shadow on this guy's scruffiness over here. But he still finds a way to get down there and film a game. So this is when I ask you people, if you bring your cheerleaders with you, your brother, your son, your daughter, I don't care. Have them try to film the game. And if it's good enough, you could try to upload it. You could try to upload it into Dropbox or something like that. And you know, Flanny could upload it to ACFL.net, right, Flanny? Come on, dude.
I'm going to shout out to Michael Bennett in the chat, man. Michael Bennett, always fan of the show, man. Great guy. He mentioned about he did see a cameraman at the Bayonne field. I heard he did come a bit late on there, but he did capture that.
Did he fall into a sinkhole? Did he fall into a fucking sinkhole? Jesus Christ.
But what I'm hearing, Giant, I don't know. I mean, MOB, as we know, MOB is part of the Canes, and whenever he's around, man, there's always some kind of controversy going around. I didn't get no film. Bottom line is, I'm not holding any film here as far as editing-wise goes. There was no film. It hasn't been presented to me. I don't know if MOB is holding it back, does not want to release it just because the Canes lost this past Sunday. And anytime that happens, I always get this story here about this and that, man. I don't believe it, man. MOB, you know what MOB stands for, Giant? Most overrated bum. That's what
my God.
Right here on the show, man. And I hope he's watching, man.
Shout out to Mike Bennett as well, man. We appreciate you tuning in live to us as well as the rest of y'all out there. And we wouldn't be doing this show without you, so we are very appreciative of it. As you said, Flanny, go ahead.
Johnny, let's start with that one, man. Let's recap on there. Canes Warriors, man. Let's start the show off with that, man, because this is what a lot of guys are tuning in on here, man. And Flaggate's not getting much coverage as it is, you know. And even when I look at the Instagram feed, all this ACFL South, all these ACFL South players on there posting. Where the hell's the 8th man? You mentioned Prestige League here in the ACFL, but yeah, man. Let's talk about the Warriors, Canes on here, man. Coming into this game. Both teams were 1-0. You got the Canes that won the full 2018 8-man championship. You know, so it was a big showdown coming down on here, man. And last week I was surprised, man. You picked the Warriors to win this, and that upset prevailed. I don't know what kind of crystal ball you got back there, Giant, man, but they ended up winning on here. And I've heard a lot of different sources, different controversy going around in this game. A lot of excuses in this game, man. What are you going to say, man, about
listen, this is absolutely the upset of the season so far in the 8 versus 8. And I might be the only one to pick the Warriors for this game as a prediction. So stunning. Earl, the captain of the team, he is pointing fingers at Mike B for not playing and playing in the other league and taking some of the Canes players. This is the info I got with them. There's blood coming out of his whatever over here. It's stunning even to this day, but the bottom line is the Canes got beat, and I think everybody is sick and tired of the excuses. They're 8-week seasons, guys, and each team does not have all their guys every week, so it happens. But the bottom line is they lost. And how convenient that the film is lost on this game, and it looks like a very tight game, low scoring, lots of defense. So not much highlights from this, Flanny.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of key Canes guys not there. You know what I mean? And that's all I've been hearing. That's all I've been hearing. Yes, there have been fingers pointing at this guy, that guy. Why the Canes lost in this game? Bottom line is they did lose. You know, and you mentioned it. You got it right, Giant, man. I mean. Yeah, look, each week, man, you're not going to have everybody always every week. So you got to utilize the players you have. And the teams that have that much better roster as far as the depth goes on here tend to prevail a lot of the times. And the Canes used a lot of different players here, a lot of newer players on their team position-wise. Did that hurt? Absolutely, man. Well, let's not take the win away here from the Warriors, man, because the bottom line here's what – Canes were up 13-3 in this game at the half, man. So I don't care about this and that, you know, what else was said about this. They were up 13-3 at the half on here, and they couldn't get the job done. Let's give credit here to the Warriors because, remember, the Warriors were the ones that held this team in the red zone. There was a key possession in the red zone where they held them, and they stopped the Canes from getting that touchdown. Also, in the game, a 4th down conversion there that they stopped as well, you know. And Warriors came up with some nice plays. Hey, there was some nice offensive plays, catches by the Warriors here in this game. I wish we did have highlights on some of those because those were some sweet plays. And they get the win here. They continue here 2-0, remain perfect here while the Canes.
And they are standing alone at the top of the standings, 2-0. Congratulations to the Warriors for a well-deserved win over here, coming from behind at halftime and getting the W in this game, Flanny.
Yeah, tremendous win. Hey, Warriors won the winter, you know, even though it was a 6-on-6, they won that, and they remain perfect here so far. So congrats to those guys, man. Let's give the dues there for those guys. They got a big matchup coming up here again this week. So we're talking about you mentioned the 2-0, you know, undefeated. We got the All-Stars who are also undefeated, 1-0 on there. What about the rankings, man? If you check out the Instagram feed, Giant, on there, the Instagram post, he does a lot of the power rankings on there through the ACFL, and that goes for all around the league, man. The South, the North, the 6-on-6, the 8-on-8. One in particular team, the Smash Belt team. Now, there was a lot of talk on there. They're also undefeated on here, but a lot of guys are either forgetting or don't realize that. They're not even mentioned on the top 5, Giant. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, Smash Mouth, they're not on the top five. But look, man. I mean, they played against a bag of sticks. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't get on the foul. It's like let's say it's like Texas A&M
Apex Predator.
beating Rice University. Like, what are you kidding me? Are you gonna be ranked? You think you're gonna be ranked top 25?
Uh-huh.
You're definitely not gonna be ranked top five.
Yeah.
If you beat them, if you beat them 20-0 against Rice University or something like that, come on, man. I'm sorry, you're not gonna make the poll. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so it's the top five rankings. All right, guys. So just take a chill pill. All right.
It's like when people saw that the All Stars who were 0-0, they had to buy the first week. Like, how are they in the top five? I mean, do we even have to comment on that? So, I mean, you simply look at NCAA football. Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, who you play, the schedule on there, that has to do with the rankings as well. It's not just the record itself. Plus the scores mentioned by Bennett in the score in the chat there, they only won 12. It was 12-0. I mean, they only scored 12 points. So it wasn't as impressive win as, when the All-Stars played the Apex Predators. It was a much bigger spread on there. So I want to see. I agree with the poll there. I agree with the top five rankings there.
Not bad. It's not
Being
bad
on that
rankings.
list. I mean,
I
you look
agree.
at the teams that are there. I understand they have a loss in their column. They're 1-1. But look at those teams. I mean, you got the Canes on there. You got the Bulldogs, who came up with a big win this week. You got USO on there. Giant, they want to mention on here, it's not USO, man. USO, get it right, man.
All right, sorry guys. Oh my
But,
God.
but, but you look at those teams, you look at the All Stars on there. Yeah, I mean, I don't got Smash Mouth in my top five either for that. And I think that also will burn a light here under the fire there for Smash Mouth to come out with a win this week to prove the spectators wrong on there, that they do deserve in that top five. And I think with a win here this week, definitely gets them in the top five, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I mean, we can go over the other scores too, but I mean, they're nothing to brag about or whatever. All Stars just opened a can of whoop ass against the Apex Predators, and the Apex Predators, they are just absolute. They are an absolute train wreck. Uh, I, I don't even know if they have any points scored for the season yet, Flanny.
How's this? Zero, man. Zero. Not good. Not good to start the
I
season.
don't. I feel bad because I want them to be at least competitive. I mean, score something. I don't know what's going on, and the All Stars absolutely murked them, and they ran over them with a steamroller. Basically, 37-0 is the final.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about that one. Next.
Okay, so the Bankers, they finally get their shit together, but it's against the Monstars, who used to talk a lot of shit, but they don't say a damn thing right now. So congrats to the Bankers, 21-6 the final over there in my old stomping ground, EO, aka East Orange, man. Beautiful field over there, Paul Robinson Stadium. So shout out to the Bankers for the W in this game, Flanny.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you mentioned the Monstars on there. Well, how about this, John? This week, Monstars against Apex Predators. Both teams 0-2 coming in this one.
Hey, maybe Apex could actually score some points this game. I'm pulling for them to score some points. Maybe it's one of the most competitive games of the week. Who knows? And
If
I
they are
don't
going to
know if
score
there's going to
Giants,
be a shootout
this is the week
because
they got to do it.
because the Monstars have scored 12 points in two games, and the Apex Predators have scored a big fat 0.
Yeah, it's one thing to be winless right now, but scoreless, you got to do something about that. So, especially if you're going to compete on here. But they got a chance here. They got a chance here to revive themselves against the Monstars. It's a big matchup here for both teams, man, because a loss here really drops you way down to the bottom of the barrel, basically. So I know both teams. It's going to be a battle here, man. It's going to be a battle here this week. I'm rooting for Apex too. I'm with you, Giant, man.
All right, so let's go with our predictions. For week number 3 for the 8 versus 8, and we got Uso versus Smash Mouth. The game over here. Look, You know what? Let's do the Apex Predators versus the Monstars first. Apex Predators have not scored an offensive score yet or a defensive score over here, so I can't see anything over here. I think Monstars going to score a touchdown over here. 6-0 is going to be my final, Flanny.
Yeah, low score game too. Even the guy on the Instagram predictions, he predicts a 7-6 win by the Apex Predators. I like that score, and I think Apex gets on the board. They're gonna get a win, man. So I'm going with the Predator trade here. Let's go.
All right, so let's move along to the next game. Bankers versus the Warriors, and I mean the Warriors they're a fantastic team. Like, what are you going to do? I don't think the Bankers have a chance in hell on this one, and I think the final score is going to be 27-7, Flanny, on this one.
I think it's going to be a lot closer on here. Hey, don't count out the Bankers on here, man. Yeah, I understand. I mean, and this happens always too, man. Teams beat the Canes on here, or they beat the All-Stars. They think they're on the top there, man. And then what happens? They end up losing the following week. And the Bankers are a team that could do that, man. They're a spoiler team that goes in there. I mean, they've done it to a lot of the top teams, man. So watch out. And these teams have played. They know each other well, man. The matchup here, I expect a close game here, maybe even with a Banker win. But Warriors 2-0, Giant. I'm going to stick with that train, yeah.
All right, and the next game we got is the All-Stars versus the Bulldogs.
Now, there's some controversy on this game too, man. There's some, I mean, All-Stars 1-0, Bulldogs 1-1, and Bulldogs coming out with that big win against Uso last week.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. I mean, I think this is going to be a good game, but you look at the Instagram feed on there, he predicts the All-Stars 28-6, you know.
No, I think it'll be more competitive.
Took offense into that, but I don't know. I mean, I talked to a few people, and some saying it is going to be a blowout. So, because I was actually looking forward to possibly filming this game, but I'm getting some negative feedback on that. And look at the Instagram, but I don't know. I mean, hey, All-Stars top team on here, you know, ranking wise. I mean, you know, they could easily do. I mean, look what they just did to the Predators, 37-0, man. So, you know, can it happen again? Yeah, absolutely. But I like the Bulldogs, man. I like what they did so far here this season. Addition of some of the key wide receivers there. They're getting the offense rolling finally on here. And they're still a great defensive team. So, you know, always in it there. I don't agree with the 28-6 score, but I still take the All-Stars.
Yeah, I think the All-Stars are going to take it 27-20. That's the final game we got over here is Uso versus Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth got the W, but I think Uso's going to take this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to say 20-17 is going to be the final on this one. Okay. Uso is going to take this.
Okay. And hey, man, we're going to see how good this Smash Mouth team really is right here, man.
Yeah.
And this is a key matchup here for both. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle here. I mean, it could go either or, man. I mean, I haven't, you know, I mean, Smash Mouth got some big boys out there, man. I know, man. That week one, you know, shutting out team out, you know, no points is accomplishment in itself. You know, they had to buy there, you know, well rested on there. And Uso coming off with that disappointing loss against the Bulldogs. So look for them trying to rebound on this while Smash Mouth team's trying to prove themselves here. So should be a great matchup, man. But I'm going to take the veteran team. I'm going to take the Uso team here in this one. You know, Smash Mouth still, I think, got a ways to prove themselves.
All right, so let's move along to the 6 versus 6. And not much competitive games, unfortunately, week number 2 over here. And a lot of ass whoopings this past week. First game we got up is the Goonies versus the Pace Truck Dirt Demons. And they absolutely just stunk it up yet again, the Pace Trucking Dirt Demons. And the Goonies getting a handily win this one, 31-6, Flanny.
Yeah, no surprise here, man. I mean, Goonies, always a team that rolls, you know. It's a team I think that should be 2-0. Bruins escaped with a win in that week 1, going for that 2-point conversion. So we're looking at a team that should be 2-0. And look how much points they've put up this season already. I mean, you look at the standings there. I mean, both weeks, even with that loss in week 1, I mean, crazy. Mike Vick's lighting up the scoreboard there with the Goonies, and I love the Goonies. I mean, that's one of my favorite 6-on-6 teams.
All right, next game we got All-Stars versus Devenio. And once again, the All-Stars opening and just taking a dump all over Devenio over here, 28.
Well, that one actually, that was actually a forfeit. Devenio did not field the team that week, so that game did not happen. Next, man.
All right, they didn't even field the team. So what you do we automatically give them 10 points, or what? Or that should be a 0?
No, I think I think they do it 28-10. I think that's like the set default for a forfeit win.
Ugh.
If so, I believe so. I believe that's.
All right, I don't know what
If
significance.
anybody knows, or comment, let us know, man. But that's what I believe it was. I don't think they fielded a team, man. Rich. I mean, Rich got to get his boys, man. I know it's a new team, man. You know, they looked good week 1, so but you can't get your guys, you can't get the team. That's a problem.
Yeah, I know, man. And you know, it's cool.
I know you're playing
after the legacy of some kid, man. But I mean, get your crew together, man. I don't understand it, or you got to recruit better and get some better guys.
Maybe they just got. I mean, they were playing the All-Stars, man. So you know, I mean,
does it matter? Show up and play. You pay them for it, man.
Play. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to obviously take a forfeit, but they did, and you know, so it is what it is, man. I mean, they want to play week in, week out, so I mean, so you know. All
right, so we got the Bruins versus the Bankers over here. Absolute blowout with the Bruins taking this one, 45-18. I don't know how much stunning this is because the Bruins have, I mean, the points they've scored in 2 weeks is 80 points, bro. So they're a pretty good team.
80 points, man. I mean, 2 weeks, 2 games. I mean, maybe some of these teams got to watch this offense, man. I mean, we haven't seen them on film yet, the Bruins, but what I'm hearing, man, it's a full team effort there, man. It's not just one guy on there. They got a whole bunch of weapons, a whole bunch of receivers out there, and AJ's got his team going, man. You know, the Bruins always, and you know, it's no surprise here. But I want to see when they play some of more of the type, like the Cobras or like the All-Stars on here. Yeah, they had week 1 against the Goonies on there. Like I said, but that one could have went either way. But hey, I mean, scoring that many points, man, in the 6-on-6, that's what you got to do, man. It's a fast-paced style of game as opposed to, let's say, like the 8-on-8, you know, where teams actually win games defensively. Here you got to put points, man. Put more points than the other team. You know, you ain't gonna lose.
All right, let's.
I just want to it's been confirmed in the chat. Yeah, that was a forfeit win. We still got some comments about the Kane Warrior film, where the film is at. Here's what I was messaged about on here. That yes, the guy did show up there. I believe he came a bit late, but the camera that was being used wasn't one of mine. Wasn't one. I don't know how old it was or what but it's one that I guess he can't transfer over or something, man, something along the lines, man. But I promise you this, man, this week, games of the week, Jim Flanagan is going to do those games. So that does not happen, man, because we need the game of the week. I don't care about, you know, how many games we film, what games. Game of the week needs to be filmed. Bottom line, that's where it goes. Unfortunately, I mean, you know, nothing against the Warriors, man, but there's no film, man. Don't shoot me, man. I mean, I don't got it. I'm not holding anything on here. If I did, it'd be posted up.
Right.
I don't have the footage. I didn't do it myself, so I was down in this. Actually, I didn't even film this week. I did have somebody film the South games, and they were supposed to do the North, but I guess technical difficulties or whatnot. prevented that. So,
all right.
MOB, man. Hit him up, man.
All right, guys. You got the Savages versus the Wild Breed, and the Savages just savage Wild Breed, 40-7. And this is very stunning because Wild Breed has a lot of veterans. So why are they struggling so much, Flanny? And the Savages are not a good team, so I don't understand this. So
I wouldn't say they're not a good team, man, but the score surprised me here. I like the Savages in this matchup. You mentioned
they scored 13. Savages scored 13 points in their first game. What are you talking about, bro?
But well, that was against the Cobras, man. I mean, you can't.
Oh, okay. All right.
But them putting up 40 points on here, you know. What's going on with this Wild Breed? There was a lot of talk preseason about this team. You know, yes, you mentioned veteran teams on there. That doesn't happen much, but it did here. What they got, like 13 points in 2 games, and they're giving up. I think the differential between points for, points against is like minus 54 or something, and that's awful. That's pretty low there, man. For and what I'm hearing about this, that the Wild Breed is only coming there with 6 guys, you know, so they're playing Ironman football here, both sides, no substitutes on there, and that could hurt. But you know, but 40-7, ouch, man, ouch,
stunning. And finally, the last game over here, Cobras versus the Bears. You know, this is the most competitive game of the week. And the Cobras still end up winning, and you know, good enough. 27-18 is the final. Now the information I received on this, was Dan there? You know, I heard he had to go to a wedding. So who played the quarterback over here for the Bears? Flanny, you know?
I think Jim was out there, but yeah, Dan Brown. Dan Brown was not in this game, but still, man, Jim was there. I mean, it was a competitive game, no doubt here. I mean, better team won, which is the Cobras, you know. But you know, Bears gave them a battle here, man. Bears gave them a battle. Jim actually quarterbacks both, I believe, the Bears and the Canes, you know, if I'm correct on there. So they got a quarterback, and Dan's actually, I think, their backup on there just in case. But that guy's an all-around player. Not just, I mean, he plays multiple positions. He wasn't in the game, though. I mean, would he be in the game? Would the outcome be different? I don't think, man. I think Cobra still rolled.
Now, let's go over the predictions over here, Flanny. And this is absolutely the game of the week, probably. It's the All-Stars versus the Cobras. And it's nice and early at the crack of 8:30 a.m. over there in Paul Robinson Stadium in East Orange. Flanny, is someone going to make it there to film this game?
I don't know, man. I hope so. You know, so you know.
All right. I mean, we'll see. I like the Cobras in this one. All Stars. You know,
definitely game of the week, man. I mean,
yeah, this is the game of the week. I mean,
unfortunately, Instagram doesn't have polls on there. I don't know why, man, but I think that you got to put some kind of app to put it on there. But they definitely should put a poll, maybe on the message boards. I know Twitter has it, so maybe I'll post it there. But who are you taking here, Giant, man? I mean, this one.
I'm going to take the Cobras. I think All Star is a stronger team, but I think the Cobras got what it takes to take them down this week. I think it'll be a squeaker, and I think they're going to win 21-20 is going to be the final Cobras win.
Okay. Hey, listen, man. If there's a team that's going to beat the All-Stars, it's the Cobras, man.
Right.
I mean, here's a team that has done it, man. You know, not many teams can't beat the All-Stars, but the Cobras can, and they've done it. They've done it in big games, championship games, in the playoffs, man. They knocked the All-Stars out, and Adam and the boys there could get the job done. He's back, man. He's back, and he's rolling here with the Cobras. So this should be a tremendous matchup up there in East Orange. Nice field, great field to capture the film. No doubt should be filmed there, man. And but you know what? I like Cobras, man. I like the Cobras here as well. A lot of deadly receivers. The reason why I like the Cobras here, there's also a lot of players from the Canes that play for the Cobras. Well, guess what? The Canes have a bye this week, you know, and somebody messaged me on there. I'm not going to mention the name, but they're guaranteeing that the Cobras will beat the All-Stars this week on there because of that. They're well rested. These guys are only going to play in this game because the Canes ain't playing this week, and they're going to beat them for that reason alone.
All right. Well, I feel better now about my prediction. Let's move along to the next game. We got Savages versus the Bankers. No indication that the Bankers are going
to do. Just to cut you off there, Giant. There's mention here that Instagram does have polls, so that's cool. I mean, we got to let the guy know how to do it, man, on there, because I know he posted there, but it'd be good with a poll. Guys, just click, vote who they want on there, you know. So
yeah,
for a big matchup like that, yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely have to look into that. I didn't see it myself, but I'm not an Instagram guy, man. I'll leave it to that guy.
Yeah, I'm not an Instagram guy.
I only provide the highlights, man. I only provide the highlights. So
yeah, I hear you. All right, let's move along to the second
I don't do
game.
The cards. So.
All right, second game. We got the next game over here: Savages versus the Bankers over in Park Ridge, New Jersey. No indication that the Bankers are even going to be able to do much against the Savages. I got the Savages winning this one pretty easy, Flanny.
I wouldn't say easy here. Don't look at that last week. Just because they put 40 points, 47 win there. Again, here's the Bankers team. You know, two veteran squads there. But you know what? I don't know. I mean, yeah, Savages looked good, but look, Wild Breeds are looking awful. Every team they're playing so far, you know, they're struggling. So. I wouldn't be surprised Bankers come up with a win here. I mean, I'm going to take the Bankers. You know what I mean? You picked an upset last week, Giant. This is my upset, man. Bankers over the Savages this week. What about that?
All right, we'll see what happens. Bruins versus the Pace Trucking Dirt Demons. And they need to get out of the dirt, Pace, but they're not going to get it against the Bruins. I don't think they have a shot here. This is going to be an absolute blowout, Flanny.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if it wasn't. But sources are telling me that one AJ Santos will not be there this week for the Bruins. So what does that change, man? That's their quarterback on there. But I even with that though.
Yeah, even with that, I don't even think it's going to be an issue.
If you're going to beat the Bruins, this is the week you got to do it, man. So that Pace team, man, they got to get on it here, get them early. But sources are telling AJ Santos will not be there this week. So
wow,
that's the sources. You know, so don't be surprised. But I still take Bruins, man. I got too many weapons on there. I mean, what would you say? They scored like 80, 90 points so far?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, so next game we got over here is Devenio versus the Bears. And if Devenio can't even field a team like last week, I have no confidence that they have a shot at this against the Bears at all. We'll see what happens. Hopefully Devenio starts getting their shit together, but I do not have any confidence in them whatsoever. Bears take this one easily, Flanny.
Now, from my source here, also speaking about quarterbacks here, they're telling me Jim of the Bears will also not be here this week. You know, lucky for the Canes, they got to bye this week, so they don't got to worry about that. But the Bears do. However, Dan Brown is still on this team. So, and I like Dan Brown coming in at quarter. I like Dan Brown, period, man, here. So I think they might even shock here and come out with a big win. Because look, this is a veteran man. He's done it before. He's got multiple championships under his belt here. So I'm interested to see how Dan Brown performs here with the Bears team. But sometimes, hey, Giant, when you ruin that chemistry, is it going to hurt the Bears? So they're without a quarterback this week too. So good backup. Thank God.
All right, so last game of the week, 6 versus 6 flag is going to be Wild Breed versus the Goonies. And, you know, we mentioned earlier, fellas, Wild Breed, veteran team, a lot of veteran players on that team still struggling. And I don't think they have a shot either against the Goonies. I think the Goonies are going to take this one, Flanny.
Yeah. Who's that, Goonies and who?
Wild Breed.
Oh, yeah. Come on. I mean, you're playing Iron Man football on here. Goonies are coming to town here. That's not good. That's not good for the Wild Breed. Veterans or not, man. They got to get their stuff together. I mean, it is 6-on-6. You know, teams done it with just 6 guys win, but you're not gonna get it against the Goonies, man. You need at least a bench or 2 guy out there, man. You know, to sub in. But so far the Wild Breed struggling, man, struggling team, and I think the struggle continues here. They'll go to 0-3. I just want to give a shout out there, Ray Navarro in the chat there of the Apex Predators. Johnny just wants to let you know they'll be all right, man. Trust them.
Oh, gee, thanks, pal. Could you show it on the field next time, buddy?
Well, we'll see, man. Let's see.
Come on, Ray.
Ray,
I mean, come on,
Predators, man. I'm telling you, don't let us down, man.
Yeah.
But luckily, we're not. There's no wagers going on, man. Because I don't know. I don't know if I put the money on the Predators, but
all right, guys. So we're gonna move on to the ACFL South over here. The game of the week that Flanny predicted, Morris Jokers versus Ozone, was absolutely the game of the week, and I couldn't believe I picked the wrong team.
Man,
after Dave absolutely eviscerated me week 1, because I'm a Jets fan, and you know the life of a Jets fan, fellas. All right.
John,
what?
John's the biggest curse for the Ozone, man. You go against them, they win, man. You take them, they lose. Dave Alborn is not happy with you, Giant. Man.
Yeah, I hear you. And the final of this score is a squeaker. It's Morris Jokers taking this game 24-20. The final score. What happened over here, Flanny?
And that video's up, man. The full video on it. You guys could check that out, as well as the highlight reel. This was a great game, man. This is tremendous, and we expected it. 2 great teams. Jokers, you know, summer spring champs against the Ozone team who looked red hot week number 1, and also Adam of the Cobras did quarterback for the Ozone to start the game. He only played that first half, a couple possessions on there, but it came down to, man. I mean, the last minute of this game, Ozone actually took the lead, man. They came back. After the Jokers missed the extra point conversion or a 2-point conversion, Ozone freaking took it down the field, scored, took the lead by like 2 points. I think I messed up with the score on the video. Don't pay attention to the score. It was like 24-20. But then they gave up a deep bomb touchdown, and Jokers take it away from them, man.
Yeah, their quarterback on the Morris Jokers, he's absolutely
stunning. Dude, I think he threw for like 300 or 400 yards this game. If we were tracking yards on the pass, I don't know how many yards he got. I mean, you check out the video, even just check out the highlight reel. How many deep bombs this guy throws? So
they're like Adonises over there on the Morris Jokers, just like Ozone, dude.
I know Ozone complained about some calls here and there. There was a possession where Sonny scrambled it out, and they called him out of bounds. You know, they felt he was in. That would have been a touchdown, but ref was right there to make that call. Stepped out of bounds. A key drop also by us in the end zone. Nobody around him there. Just flat out dropped him, man. But even with the calls on here, what it came down to, Ozone gave up way too much deep balls on here. You take a look at this game. Sean came out with some huge catches, especially the one at the end there. It wasn't the scoring touchdown, but it led to the touchdown. If you take a look at that play, very hard catch to do, because he's coming on a deep post pattern where he's turning to the right, and then he adjusts himself to go back to the left to make the catch, and he does, man. So he had a tremendous game in there. I don't agree with the wide receiver poll on the Instagram. I think the guy should be a lot higher, because when it comes to big games, whether it was that championship last spring, whether it was this game, or when the Jokers played a team like Old Madden, this guy has come out big in those key games against very solid teams. So I think he should be reevaluated on there. He should be a lot higher. Vinny didn't have.
I agree with that.
I agree with that. Loudmouth Giant on there. He didn't have that much of a game. Sean did, and so did Dylan. And the deep balls hurt the Ozone. They got Dave. You got to do a better job, man, preventing that deep ball. They did a great job in the red zone. Once they were there, they did get some key stops, man. But you can't give up those deep balls.
All right, let's move along to the next game, and the 10-yard fight versus Field Mob, and 10-yard fight continues to struggle. Second week in a row, and they do not have defense over here, Flanny. And this is an absolute issue. This is week 2. You should have made the adjustments last week after the ass whooping you got last week. You guys still didn't get it, 10-yard fight, and Field Mob rolls all over them, 46-26. Field Mob absolutely destroys them, Flanny.
Look, Field Mob came with a squad this week, man. They always come prepared for a game, but this week in particular, there's a great highlight reel. One of the guys, Red, defensive lineman, was an absolute beast in this game. I just saw sack after sack. A great job in this guy does a great job in flag pulling. I'll give him that, man, because when he got in there at the quarterback, he was getting that flag. So tremendous player there. Field Mob, 2-0 on here. Even with all the haters, all the doubters against these guys, man, they're still using Izzy as the quarterback on here. But they're getting the wins. They put up the points there. 10-yard fight. Did put up points this week, man, but
they did, but they didn't stop any points from being scored.
Yeah,
they didn't stop anything.
You look at their points against on the standings, not good. It's not good for the 10-yard fight team. Starting things 0-2. Great to see Jay was out there, man. I mentioned last week they need him. Yeah. He was there. He made some key plays, man. He got he got the highlight of the week. I'll give him that, man. He got a highlight that's gone viral, Giant, man. It's the
shout out to Jay.
That's why I'm here. Video. If you guys didn't check that out, I think over like 500 views on that. So he's got the neon green on there. You can't miss him in the video.
Yeah. Wonderful replay on that, Flanny. And the final game of the week, which was a snoozer, and the Rebels handily take it against the Six, and the Six are struggling 28-6 to final on this one, Flanny.
Yeah. On that one, I know Nelson wasn't there, and Nelson Tavares looks at this guy. Is he the whole team? I guess so. He's not there. This team is like a bunch of headless chickens out there, But what about this Rebels team, man? We've been mentioning week after week how solid these guys are. Look how much points these guys have been putting up each week. We don't have any film coverage yet on these guys, man, but we're gonna get it soon, possibly this week. And great team. They're up there. I think number 1 or number 2 on the power poll. So
yeah. All right, let's go to our predictions.
Number 1 receiver based on the Instagram and Boogie. So he's got a great threat there. So.
All right, let's move along to ACFL to this week's schedule over here. Wolverines versus the Field Mob, and I don't have much hope for the Wolverines over here, Flanny. I guess they have a chance against Field Mob, but dude, the way Field Mob played last week, I don't think the Wolverines have too much of a shot over here. I think it'll be a close game, but I think Field Mob's going to take this.
Yeah, listen, man. Field Mob looked tremendous last week, but don't take anything out here from the Wolverines. Yeah, they're 0-1, but they were in that freaking battle there with the Rebels. So it came out to like the last 10 seconds they lost the game, but they were up. Had they win that, they'd be 1-0 on here. So, and they had the week off last week, so well rested on here. Wolverines could make some noise here, so don't be surprised, man. They got a lot of talent on this team. Young, talented team here coming in, but they could give a run at it here for the Field Mob team. Because listen, I still question the Field Mob offense here on this. I know they put up a lot of points this past week, but so far, teams have been rolling against the XYF as it is. So, but I expect a closer game here for the Wolverines. Hopefully, they show up on here as they did week 1. But Field Mob as well, man. Until somebody takes them down, Giant.
All right, let's move on to the next game, which will likely be an absolute snooze fest. 10-yard fight, versus the Morris Jokers. Morris Jokers are not a team to mess with. And unless 10-yard fight could get some defense, They have zero chance whatsoever. They're going to start this season 0-3, Flanny. They got some big issues after the loss in week 2.
Listen, their schedule does not get easier, man.
Right.
In town, so I mean, they got a rough schedule to start the season.
R.I.P. XYF. R.I.P. XYF.
Did the XYF do R.I.P.? Maybe.
Yeah, R.I.P. All right, guys. This is likely the game of the week. We got the Rebels versus the Ozone. I still believe in Ozone over here. I think this is going to be a great battle. Game of the week. It's the late game in the Super Studs. In the ACFL South, and the Rebels versus the Ozone. And I'm still going to take the Ozone to take this. I think they're going to bounce back from this week, and I think they will take this game, Flanny.
Yeah, should be a great game. 2-0 Rebels, 1-1 Ozone. Definitely game of the week here. We haven't seen the Rebels yet, so and listen, I told you beginning of the season before this thing even started, man. And I will not be surprised. You took the Ozone, Giant? I'm going to, man. Every time you take the Ozone, they don't win. So sorry, Dave, man. Rebels going to go into this one. I don't know if Adam's going to be. Oh, he could quarterback this one because the Cobras play early, so who knows? But still. I like the Rebels, man.
All right, guys. Listen, next week we're going to go over. We're running a little bit late today. Next week we're going to do a North versus South discussion. We're going to open up the show with that. So just for you guys to give some thought to that as well. Maybe post some stuff on Instagram too. What you guys think of it? Maybe Flanny. Maybe they could get a poll up over there over the next week so we could discuss this matter further. Yeah. And as always, thank you everybody who showed up to watch us live tonight, and thank you everybody for your continued support as well. Shout out to my producers as well, to our producers over here, Jim Flanagan, JT, and AJ, as well as the other producers back there to help make this show happen, Flanny.
Yeah, absolutely, Giant. North versus South discussion is in the works. Hey. South champs versus North champs. That'll be a tremendous sight to see. Will it happen? Can it happen here? We'll discuss that. Shout out to Dan in the chat there on their regards to the Warriors. He did mention, it was a great game. Would have been great to rewatch. I agree. I would have wanted to see it as well.
Get those cameras out there, guys. It's very frustrating to me.
They're just going to get their own, man. You
guys heard me raging earlier in the show today. I can't stand it.
Well, I agree. With the camera. The bread and butter of this league. I agree with him on that. And listen, Jim Flanagan is going to take matters into his own hands. I'm going to film at least 2 8-on-8 games this week. How about that, man?
All right, guys. Make sure you continue to check us out, www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. Jim Flanagan. Giant 918 signing out. We'll see you next week, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.